Hello and welcome to your guide to start software testing career course. In this course we are going to talk about what is testing. Does it worth to be a software tester? Does this career guarantee a reasonable to high income? Are there opportunities to cross? What is the career path for software tester? Also, we will give a roadmap on how to start software testing career. What are the skills needed to be a successful software tester? And we will talk about some facts and myths about software testing. And finally, we will talk about how to write your CV and win in an interview. So, if you are a fresh graduate and want to establish your career, or if you are an employee and want to switch your current career, or if you are anyone who wants to learn a new skill and build his or her own career, this course is for you. I'm so happy to guide you through this series. I'm Asma Matar. I have 6 years of experience in software testing. I'm a computer science engineer and I'm an ISTQB certified foundation level agile tester and test analyst. And 2 years ago I founded my startup called TestBird, which is specialized in providing software testing services for tech companies and clients, as well as providing training for software testers and for those who want to start their career in software testing. So I hope you are excited as I am, and thanks for watching this video, and see you in the next video. Hello and welcome back to our series on how to be a software tester. In this video we are going to cover some definitions like software and its related definitions like API, database, front-end, back-end, software development lifecycle, software testing lifecycle, software bug testing types, testing levels, and issue tracking tools. So let's start with software. Assume that software is a black box which takes input, make some processing, and generates output. For example, the calculator. The calculator takes inputs, which are numbers and the operations, makes some processing based on the chosen operation, and generates output. The input is taken from user interface, which is also known as front end in software industry, which is the interface we see when opening a mobile application or website or desktop application. The processing is called back end or business logic, the instructions we give for the computer to execute certain functions, the code. So for the calculator example, the back end here is the code where each function is manipulated. If you are talking about large businesses like e-commerce applications or mobile applications, so we deal with lots of data. So we need something to store data in, and also we need something to serve us when we need some data. So backend deals with APIs and databases, and in simple definitions, API is request to serve, and database is a storage area where we store all the data in the application. A simple example was mentioned in Quora, and I'm going to use it. It was explaining the relation between API and database in simple words. So consider yourself a requester in a flower shop which has bunch of different flowers. So you as a requester is a client, and the flower shop is a database, and the bunch of different flowers are the tables in the database where we store these flowers. And a shopkeeper is API. Now you will request the shopkeeper to take a flower or bunch of flower, wrap it in a wrapper and give it to you. So only the shopkeeper knows how to access the flowers and where which flower is kept. Similarly, a program when needs any data calls an API, and the API in return access the database, read the needed tables, and return back to the program when the data returns. So it's as simple as that. Client here is a program, calls an API, and the API calls the database, which contains the database data, which is in our previous example the flowers, and then back to the program with the needed data. I hope it's clear, and if you have any question, please comment on this video to elaborate more. Some other terms we use: software development lifecycle, which is the phases each software runs through from initiation to delivery, the whole process we run through to deliver a software. Software testing lifecycle, the process we follow to test certain software. As we mentioned before, testing is not a single activity, it's a process. Contains different lifecycle activities. Each activity has inputs and outputs. Software bug is an error caused the deviation between expected and actual result. As we mentioned before, we test against the expected result, which is the user requirements. So simple example, if user asked us to make a calculator which has basic operations like addition, subtraction, multiplication and division. So for the addition function, for example, it's obvious that the expected is to add two numbers together, but maybe for some reason while testing this calculator you find that this function gives wrong result. So this is a software bug. Issue tracking tools are the tools we use to report the software bugs so that we can communicate with developers and follow up with them till it's closed. Testing level, the different stages of software development lifecycle where testing is conducted. As we mentioned, there is a software development lifecycle. So there are different stages in which we develop the software, and in each stage from these stages we have to test. So we have different levels like unit testing, integration testing, system testing, acceptance testing, testing types, a classification of different testing activities into categories, each having a defined test objective, test strategy, and test deliverables. The goal of having a testing type is to validate the application under test for the defined test objective. In simple words, we have different types of testing, like for example function testing, which means what the system does. What the system does, it's drawing from requirements and user specifications. So in this type, the objective here is to make sure that the system working as expected and the functionalities of the system are working properly. Another type is non-functional testing, which contains lots of testing types like performance, load, stress, usability. We aren't going to cover these types, but I want you to know that testing has different types and each type has its objective, and we execute this type to validate that the application under test have the defined test objective. So for some applications, for example, one of the test objective is to make sure that the application responds for any transaction in, for example, 2 seconds. So the page loads in 2 seconds, and any transaction the user made takes just 2 seconds. So here we have to make performance testing, and the objective here is to make sure that the application response time is 2 seconds. So that's all about the definitions we want to cover. Thanks for watching this video, and see you in the next video. Hello and welcome back to our series on how to be a software tester, and in this video we are going to talk about the definition of quality. So what is the quality? When do we say that this product quality is good or this product quality is very poor? Let's be more specific and take this pen as an example, and let's assume that we are going to examine this pen. So someone would say, it's good, the design is perfect for me to put it in the pocket of my jacket. So his only concern here is the design. Another one might say, not bad, the ink brightness is good. So his only concern here is the ink brightness, and here he neither satisfied nor dissatisfied, so the pen quality for him is average. Another one might say, no, the ink thickness is too light and it will be hard for anyone to read a copy of my writing. So we can conclude that this user is still a student, and his colleagues usually copy his handwritten lectures. So his only concern here is the ink thickness. And the list goes on, as many users examining this product. So in conclusion, we now know that quality is fitness for intended use, or its degree of customer satisfaction. And also we know that it's relative. It's relative to customer needs, because someone in the previous example needed to put it in his jacket, so his only concern was design. Another one concern was the ink thickness. So it's relative to customer needs. And customer needs in software industry called requirements, user requirements. And this is a very important point to be understood as a tester, because as a tester your goal is to ensure the product quality. And to ensure any product quality, you have to know the user requirements. You have to know how this user is going to use this application, and you have to know the user purpose from this application or software under test. So the main goal in this video is to know that the quality is relative. For sure, there are general characteristics, depends on the product you are testing and its context, but it's relative to customer need. The customer is the only one who defines the product quality. If the software you are testing is super in everything, its performance is super, it's very secure, it has no bugs, but it doesn't satisfy the customer, or it doesn't exactly provide what the customer needs, so the quality is poor. So again and again, to be able to ensure the product quality, you have to know the customer requirements. So thanks for watching this video, and see you in the next videos. Hello and welcome back to our series on how to be a software tester. Today we are going to talk about testing. What is testing? Well, in simple form, testing is finding out how well something works. It's a comparison between expected and actual result. So you may ask now, what is expected result? How can we know expected result of software or application? Well, expected result is the user requirements. How will the user use this application, and what is his purpose from this application? Another definition, it's the process of making sure that the solution meets its requirements, user requirements, behaves well as expected, and both are similar. Expected result equal user requirement, and actual result is the result we are getting from trying the application after development. If you found both are similar, expected is like actual, then the application works. If not, then there is a bug, there is an issue, a failure here. The formal definition of testing is the process consisting of all lifecycle activities, both static and dynamic, concerned with planning, preparation, and evaluation of software product and related work product to determine that they satisfy specified requirements, to demonstrate that they are fit for purpose, and to detect defects. So I want you to take care of the underlined words in this definition. First thing, testing is a process, not a single activity. Second, testing has two types, static and dynamic. Dynamic testing is testing the application or software to open the application or a website after development and try it as a user. Make actions, press buttons, and enter keywords in the fields and see how it works. But static testing is testing the user requirement, the design documents, testing anything's not working yet. To understand this well, I have to explain the software development lifecycle. What is the process we follow to create a software? Well, first we do analysis and get the user requirement. Then we make design and draw the screens of the system. Then developers start coding and make the development. Then we test this application. But static testing means that we test from analysis. We test the user requirements. In this way, testing becomes preventive. We prevent issues to happen instead of just detecting defects when happen. You may ask now, how can we test requirements? How can we test documents? And how this activity can prevent issues? Well, let's assume that we are developing an e-commerce application and the customer told us that two rules. First rule, that the system should apply certain discount for users who buy with more than $1,000. Second rule is that the system should apply different discount for the users who have loyalty card. So assume that we get these requirements and we design the screen for the customer, then we develop and we test. And while we are testing, we found that a user who have loyalty card purchased with more than $1,000. Then the application crashes or do anything wrong. Then we report this issue, and after some investigations we get that this case isn't covered from analysis. So we get back to client and recode and retest. So we consumed a lot of time. But what if we asked this question to the customer while gathering requirement? What if we asked him, what if a user who have a loyal card purchased with more than $1,000? Then simply the customer will tell you which rule or which discount to apply, and you would prevent this issue and save lots of time and sure money, as time in software industry equals money. Number 3, planning, preparation, and evaluation. We agreed that software testing is a process, not single activity. This process is concerned with planning, preparation, and evaluation. So before we test, we plan for our test. We plan which types will we do. We plan which techniques will we use to get the test cases. We plan for our test cases and its priority and important. Then we prepare our test cases and prepare the test data we will use and test. And finally, we evaluate while executing the test cases whether it matches the requirements or not. Number 4, this activity's goals is to determine that the product satisfies specified requirement, which is the goal of testing, demonstrate that they are fit for purpose, and finally to detect defects when comparison between expected user requirements and actual results. This is simply what is testing. So thanks for watching this video and see you in the next video. Hello and welcome to our series on how to be a software tester. Today we are going to talk about why quality matters. In a previous video we explained what is quality. So why quality matters? It's obvious that software solutions become an important and essential part of our lives. We use it in daily basis in different categories like mission critical purposes in health equipment and transportation. We use it for business purposes like banking applications, and we use it in other purposes like education and communication. So any failure can affect our life or money. And here are a few examples. This is a China Airlines Airbus A300 crashing due to a software bug on April 26, 1994, killing 264 people. And in April 1999, a software bug caused the failure of 1.2 billion military satellites to launch. Another example, in May 1992, Pepsi paid $42 billion as a compensation due to a software bug. And history is full of such examples. So we now know that a software bug can be expensive or dangerous, and the risks of poor quality ranges from money and time to lose revenue and reputation for businesses to death or injury for humans if you are talking about mission critical applications like health equipment or transportation. So why we test? We test to find defects that affect the software badly, as mentioned in the previous examples. We test to measure quality and provide confidence that the software is well tested. So till now we talked about what is quality, why quality matters, and why we test. So the next step is to talk about what is testing. So thanks for watching this video and see you in the next video. Hello and welcome back to another video from your guide to start software testing career. And in this video we are going to answer an important question cross anyone's minds when starting a new career. Does it worth to be a software tester? Well, to answer this question we have to know first what is the criteria of a good career, then try to map these criteria to software testing and see whether it matches or not. So any good career should guarantee reasonable to high income. Also it should have opportunities all the time anywhere. And finally it should have a scalable career path. So let's map these criteria to software testing. So the first question, how much money will I get as a software tester? Well, according to IT Jobs Watch, the median salary for junior software tester is 35,000 Australian pound. This is worldwide and this is average salary. Another reference is Pioneer. Pioneer surveyed over 21,000 freelancers from 170 countries all over the world. They asked them about their skills, their careers, their income, and found that average hourly rate in software testing is $18, which is quite good. Another example, payscale.com. Here I took Cairo for example and found that average quality control engineer salary is 64,000 Egyptian pound, which is not bad as I didn't mention any specific qualifications or years of experience, so this average salary is for fresh or junior tester. The second point we talked about is opportunities. Where can I find opportunities? As a software tester, you can work locally in your country in any startup or any IT company, and these opportunities can be found through social media or specific websites like in Egypt wasf.com, byte.com, or LinkedIn jobs. Or you can work remotely, where you can work full-time or part-time for any company anywhere in the world from the comfort of your own home. And these opportunities can be found from social media or from specific websites like monster.com, jobs.com, computerjobs, remote.com, or you can work as a freelancer. And in this regard, you have multiple platforms like Upwork, Freelancer, Fiverr, and you also have specific platforms or websites like UTest, Backfinders, Uppertester, Testerwork, Test.io. These websites provide only opportunities for software testers. So you can find so many opportunities in different channels, and you can combine working locally for a company in your country and working as a freelancer in weekends or in your spare time, or working remotely for any company and at the same time working as a freelancer. So you have the flexibility to choose what suits you. Well, we covered 2 points till now. So what's the career path for software tester? Initially, you start as a junior tester, and after some years of experience, you are promoted to senior tester. Then you have different choices: either to take the managerial path and be a test lead, then after some years of experience be promoted to be a test manager, and finally you can be promoted to be a project manager, or take the business path and switch career to business analyst. And testers rock in these fields, as you already have the analytical skills which allow you to criticize ideas, to brainstorm with clients, to discuss with them different scenarios and test cases. So you will be so comfortable brainstorming with clients their ideas, and you will be very effective in covering all the cases of the business. Or you can take the technical path and be specialized in a certain test type, like to be automation engineer or security engineer or performance engineer. So also in the career path you have the flexibility to choose what suits you. I think you know now that software testing is a good career. It guarantees high income, as we mentioned. Also, it has lots of opportunities, and it has a very scalable and flexible career path. So I hope now you are excited to know more about software testing and how to be a good software tester. So thank you for watching this video, and see you in the next video. Hello and welcome back to our series on how to be a software tester. Today we are going to answer an important question. Now I want to be a software tester. What should I do? Well, first thing, you have to understand the software testing life cycle, test levels, test types, entry and exit criteria from each level and type, design techniques, test cases, bug reports, bug life cycle, and reporting tools. Then you need to practice on any online project. You can try Guru test project. They provide a live testing project. You can sign up and they will send you invitation to practice in online project. Then you can pick a tool and understand it. For example, Team Foundation server. Its online version is free, so you can make an account and try it. After that, you can take ISTQB. ISTQB is an international certificate. ISTQB stands for International Software Testing Qualification Board. It's a non-profitable organization certifying testers all over the world. You can browse their site istqb.org to know more about the certificate and to download the syllabus. Then you can now build your CV and apply for jobs. This is a general roadmap, but keep developing your skills, the skills we talked about. Testing skills, technical skills, business skills, and soft skills. Keep developing your skills, updating your CV, applying for new opportunities, either freelancing or full-time or part-time, remotely or in office. Apply for all kinds of jobs and keep learning new things and developing your skills. Thanks for watching this video and see you in the next video. Hello and welcome to our series on how to be a software tester. In this video we are going to cover the skills matrix of a good software tester. Any good tester should have a mix of skills besides the testing skills, such as technical skills, soft skills, and business skills. Regarding testing skills, good tester should know software testing lifecycle. As we mentioned before, that testing is a process, not a single activity. So good tester should know this process and should know the entry and exit criteria from each practice in this process. Also, he should know the testing level to know when should he or she test the application. And good tester also should know the testing types. Even if he don't know how to apply these types, but at least he knows what is the types, and the know-how when needed will not be a problem. Good tester should also know the entry and exit criteria for each level and type to know when to start testing and what is the expected output from this testing activity. Also, good tester should be aware of the design techniques to be able to use them to design effective test case which provide high coverage. Also, good tester should know how to report a bug and what is a bug life cycle from creation to closure. And also, good tester should be aware of tools, of different categories of tools, whether it's application lifecycle management or issue tracking tools or helper tools or even specific types tool like tools for performance testing or security testing, etc. And finally, good tester should be able to make root cause analysis. This is an advanced skill. Root cause analysis means that for each bug, you know the root cause for this bug. For example, if you have a crash in the system or the application you are testing, then after reporting this issue, you have to investigate whether this crash is due to uncovered scenario from the analysis or due to a problem in development or due to a problem in deployment. You may discover that this scenario wasn't covered in requirements, so the root cause here is poor requirement. Or you may discover that the scenario was covered in analysis but it wasn't developed or it has an issue in development, and so on. Concerning technical skills, good tester should know software development life cycle and know the different model like waterfall, V model, agile, to know exactly when testing should start. Also, good tester should know about databases and APIs, should know the difference between them and the tools used to test them. Also, good tester should be always updated about technologies and new trends in market, like cross-platforms development, Internet of Things, artificial intelligence, blockchain, or any new trend in the industry. To know the challenges and best practices when testing applications developed by this technology. If a tester is pursuing a career in automation testing, he or she should know the basics of any programming language to be able after that to learn a tool and build a framework. Regarding soft skills, testers should be good presenter. We present all the time. We present issues to developers and should be able to write them effectively, and they should be very descriptive. We also present to business representative or project manager the status of the project, so we should have good presentation skills. We should also be detailed oriented. Tester is detailed oriented by nature. Also, testers always ask, never assume. For every single transaction in the application or for every single scenario we ask, we never assume. Quick learner. As a tester, you test many applications for different business domains and for different industries, so you have to be a quick learner even outside testing, because to be able to test some application effectively you have to know its business. Also, you have to be effective communicator. As we mentioned, we communicate with different roles. We communicate with business representative, we communicate with developers, with project managers, so you have to have a good communication skill to be able to know what to say and when. Also, testers are organized by nature. You deal with hundreds of such test cases, hundreds of bugs, so you have to be very organized. Regarding business skills, by time you will have domain knowledge. Domain knowledge means that you tested applications in different business domains, so you now have domain knowledge. For example, you tested multiple ERP systems, so you have domain knowledge in ERP, inventory and HR and accounting. And you tested different banking applications, so you have domain knowledge in banking industry and so on. Also, you should have analytical skills to criticize system and to ask questions when needed. That's all about the skills. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you now know that testing isn't a second level position or a trivial job as many people assumes. Tester role is a very important and vital to any organization, and you know now the different skills that good tester should have. So I hope you are proud now to take the decision and be software tester. Thanks for watching this video, and see you in the next video. Hello and welcome back to our series on how to be a software tester. In this video we are going to talk about facts and myths about testing. And first myth, that anyone can test, and this is totally wrong. As we mentioned, testing needs technical, analytical and personal skills. Another myth, that QA equal quality control. The fact is that QC is quality control. Quality control is testing how good something is. QA equal quality assurance, testing whether we are following the right process for doing the product or not. In other words, if you are developing an application, testing whether the application is working as the user wants or not is called quality control, testing the final product. But testing whether we followed the right process of communicating with client, of making print and writing the tasks in a tool is called quality assurance. So, quality control is concerned with the final product. However, quality assurance is concerned with the process we are following to develop this product. Another myth, testers work only at the end of the project, and this is totally wrong. We mentioned before that we have some type of testing called static testing. In static testing, we test the requirements and documentation at the beginning and work along with the rest of the development team in all the phases of the project. In that way, testing is a preventive action. If you remember the example we said of preventing bugs by asking questions in the requirements field to cover all the gaps. You can back to what is software testing to recall this example if you don't remember. Another myth: testing is an easy task. It's a creative and interesting task, but sometimes it's more challenging and time consuming than development. You have to take care of test data, you have to cover all the transactions, you have to make specific testing types if needed, so it's not that easy. However, it's very interesting. Another myth is that testing is all about finding defects, and this is wrong. As we mentioned before, finding defect is one of the goals, but the ultimate goal of testing is to measure the quality. And to measure the quality, you have to make sure that the expected result is equal the actual result. And expected result, as we mentioned, is a user requirement. So we have to make sure that the application or software being developed matches the user requirements. Thanks for watching this video, and see you in the next video. Hello and welcome back to our series on how to be a software tester. In this video we are going to highlight, please note that the aim is not to explain the tools, as each tool of them needs a separate course, but the goal is to highlight and introduce these tools. So I grouped them in families or categories. The first category is issue tracking tools or project management tools. The second category is specific type tools, like the tools we use when doing performance or security testing. And the helping tools. The tools help us while testing mobile applications or websites. So for issue tracking tools, we have, for example, TFS, Team Foundation Server. It's a powerful tool from Microsoft, and it has an online free version. Just type TFS online and you can easily create an account and try it. Also we have Trello. Trello is a very simple application for beginners. We have also Redmine. Redmine is an open source tool and it's a powerful tool, has lots of features and reports. And we have Jira. Jira is a very powerful tool from Atlassian. It has lots of features, charts, graphs, reports, and it's a very reliable tool for long projects. Jira and TFS also called application lifecycle management, which means that you can manage the whole phases of the project through single application. You can list your requirements or user stories if you are working in agile environment, then add tasks for development team and add test cases, run your tasks and add your issues. For Jira, there is an integration with GitHub and Bitbucket for source code version control, so project managers can manage the whole phases of the project through single application. For specific types tools, we have Selenium and Catalan for web automation. We have also Appium for mobile automation, and for performance we have JMeter. For database testing we have Microsoft SQL Server, SQL Test, and lots of applications. In this video we just talk sample for each category. For API there is a Postman or SOAP UI, and for security there is WhatsApp, NetSparker, and lots of other tools. For helping tools, personally I use different plugins for testing websites, like for example responsive web design, which allows you to open your website, select a specific design and open it to simulate your website in the chosen device. Like for example the plugin we use to clear cache and cookies, and lots of other plugins. And in the description I will add a link contains list of powerful plugins you can use. For automation engineers always use Jenkins to help them automate the deployment of their tests. For mobile applications, we use different tools like AirDroid and AirMore for file transfer. AirDroid is for Android and AirMore is for iOS. We use alogcat for catching the crash logs for an application. Also, we use Android Studio and Genymotion for testing Android applications for multiple screen sizes and Android versions. And we use Android Studio also for profiling to know the consumption, the memory consumption and resource utilization when the application is running. We also use Xcode for testing iOS applications in different devices if we don't have real devices. So that's all about tools if you group them in families. So Trello, Jira, TFS, and Redmine will be issue tracking or ALM. Appium, Selenium, Catalan are for automation. SQL Server, SQL Test, SoapUI, Postman are for databases and APIs. NetSparker and WaspSap are for security. And Genymotion, Xcode, alogcat, Responsive Web Design plugin, AirDroid, AirMore, Jenkins, Android Studio are helping tools. As we mentioned, this is not all about tools, we just highlighted some famous example from each category or family. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching and see you in the next video. Hello and welcome back to our series on how to be a software tester. In this video we are going to talk about writing CV. So the first advice is keep it simple, concise and professional. Please don't use many fonts. 1 or 2 fonts is fine. Don't use too many colors. Preferably use only black. Use formal font type like Times New Roman. Make it short, around 2 pages, because whoever is scanning your CV, he or she doesn't have any time, because they may have hundreds or thousands of CVs. So please make it short, around 2 pages, and mention all the necessary skills in the first page. Avoid spelling or grammar mistakes. You can use any spell checker tool. Highlight the skills related to the position you are applying for at the beginning. Also avoid listing your hobbies or any unnecessary data to keep it around 2 pages. Avoid the known phrases like hard worker, work under pressure, etc. You can talk about this skill in the interview. When sending your CV, please write representable subject, like for example applying for position APC, and don't leave the email body empty. Make 1 sentence greetings and show your interest to join them and why you think you are fit for this position. That's all about writing your CV. I wish you all the best and see you in the next video. Hello and welcome back to our series on how to be a software tester. In this video we are going to talk about some tips to win your interview. So before an interview, please ask about the dress code, whether it's formal, casual or semi-formal. Learn more about the do some research, ask your friends, ask your community, check their website, etc. Also ask about the average market salary for the position you are applying for, because you will be asked about the expected salary. During the interview, please dress well, sit up straight, spread quiet smiles for your interviewers, be calm and be clear, specific and to the point, and please be honest. If they asked you about situation you didn't run through, then say, I'm sorry, I didn't run through this situation before, or I don't know this info, be honest and it will be appreciated. And please, if you didn't get any question, ask for clarification. Talk about your strengths, and while talking about your weaknesses, show how are you trying to fix them and what is the progress you did towards them. Also ask about the company culture, process, values, if they are working with specific tools, their rules, the code of ethics. Ask about anything you want to know about the company. And after the interview, please send thanks letter after finishing your interview, and send follow-up mail if they didn't get back to you within the specified period. That's all about this video. If you have specific questions, please let me know and we can discuss further details. Thanks for watching and wish you all the best.